Hello, everybody, and welcome here to our Oversalt Finals, the championship round of the Bronze to Top 500 here. And we've got a good one between Minos and any Briggers who have journeyed their way through the bracket and now are into the finals match. My name is Clutchkey, on your play-by-play Toadette, as always, the overlord of Oversalt producing. And we have ourselves Laz on color side. Laz, what's going on?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, and this is going to be such a wonderful experience for me to see, and I'm so excited to see what these teams are going to provide.
Well, let's see here, because our 3-map pool plus the tiebreaker, we'll mention it right now. We have Rialto to play first off, so the escort map to play, and then Eichenwald, another escort map, or rather, I should say a hybrid map, rather, on map number 2, and then the third map is the no-draw map, which I should say is the control point, and if that goes in any way tiebreaker, then Lijiang Tower will split any ties that there may be. But first off, it's a full escort map, Rialto, as we head to the country of Italy. And this is where things can happen anywhere in the first point with the water possibilities, with the very open area coming towards the end of point number 1. But this is one of those maps where you see only 1 point, or you might just see all 3.
Oh, for sure. I'm really excited to see what they're going to pick to counter the probable goats or something like a bunker comp on the defending side.
Mm-hmm. Now what about goats makes it very popular? Because now we see Overwatch teams, mainly in the Overwatch League teams, now they're switching on over to a Sombra maybe, or they might be switching on over to a Mei. It's just any different possibility, but the goats comp is still the main base. So what makes it so interesting, or what makes it so probable to see in most games?
Well, I mean, to me, it's not seeing what is most interesting about the goats, but it's a very sustainable composition. So pretty much whenever you see goats, you know they're going to survive for a long time and they're going to slug down the enemy team.
All right, well, let's take a look at their team comps here. 15 seconds remaining. Prepare to your defense is prepared to attack phase. Blue side will defend. That is Migos' side. Snappy, Levitate, Scouts, Mighty, Disclosure, and Anima. They'll be playing the 2-2-2 combo, but the long-range combo of Anima and Mighty playing the Hanzo and the Ashe. You've got Scouts and Snappy playing the Orisa Diva. Not a very usual combo that you see. And on the other side, you've got, on the any Brigger side, pretty much the standard Goats comp that you will see most of the way. And right now, as it stands, this 2-2-2 combo having a little bit of trouble. They know the any Bringers is right underneath them. They're going to try to keep going here, but right now, Migos staying up top of the high ground, keeping that high distance, and still contesting the point, really. Actually, any Briggers really won't try to capture the payload. Instead, they're going to go straight for Snappy, and Snappy's going to go down right away out of the Diva Mac. That's a good advantage for the side of any Bringers, and that will be a 6-on-5, meaning this payload will have no trouble moving in through the alleyway, although Anima takes down Kumo in that matter. So right now, we're just going to have a little bit of a pick fight. Dragon Strike comes right down the middle. Mighty's going to be able to get 2, and that ends any and all questions for the side of Migos. And any Burger's got to find themselves an answer here.
But what we see now is that the ult economy is going to go favoring the any Briggers.
Mm-hmm. So 2 minutes 48. Oh, go ahead.
No, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of push they're going to make.
So there's the 7th man. Bob in play from Anima. That's going to be placed somewhere here inside the lobby, as we like to call it. But the Valkyrie also comes out from Levitate as well. Good first pick, but is rezzed right away. 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Still a 6v6 combo. Zorbar going down in the hands of Anima with a Orb of Discord assist. So good call-outs here from the side of Migos to take down one of the healers. Now you got 2 left to go. Doggo and Kumo still had pretty efficient help to stay up, but they're going to keep backing up here to allow themselves to heal. Anima's not going to give them any time. Another good Orb of Discord call onto Kumo. And right now, as it stands, Migos is putting up a wall. And like I said, you're either going to see 1 or you're going to see all 3. Right now, Migos is looking to only take 1.
At least here we can see that the Minos are comfortably taking the high ground over the point.
So now we're going to be able to. So we're going to be able to see Mighty take down Mac and Zorbar at the same. Zorbar going down by the hands of Anima. So really, is this Ashe and Hanzo combo really winning this fight for them?
It's very uncertain to say. Usually, I don't feel like I see very often a Hanzo and Ashe together. But I mean, currently it is working for them.
And so take a look at the ult economies right now. You've got 4 ults. Speaking of which, 1 ult being used. Mighty's going to bring that ultimate right away, and that's going to be put very close to the spawn door, but really nothing much coming out of it. You still got 3 ults to go. Animal, I believe, uses Bob, and Rand's going to be able to knock Bob off the map, although Snappy does take Rand out of the map entirely, so that's going to be a reset. Take a look at the ult economy. So 4 on each side, 2 support, 2 tanks. Make that 3 tanks, 2 supports on the side of any Briggers, mainly with those 2 DPS ults used. You're only down to 2 supports and 2 tank ultimates left. So 5 to 4 ult advantage, you would say, goes towards this team of any Briggers, although Anima's going to take down a Transcendence possibility and a Sound Barrier possibility. Tank ultimates only left in this fight. 35 seconds remaining. And Anima just taking over the scene here with this Ashe, having no trouble whatsoever.
I mean, so I guess what we're seeing now is that they're gonna have 1 push left, if they're lucky. Or if they're persistent enough.
Mm-hmm. So 15 seconds left to go. 10 seconds now. We'll see all the ults pretty much come out. 1 point or nothing here. The payload pushed back into the alleyway, although it'll get farther than that. Bob is going to be brought out. You're going to see a lot of ults being used at this point or another, but any Briggers choosing to delay it a little bit to give themselves some space. There's the Diva Bomb. Rand's going to be able to get the kill onto Scouts, although still 65, but Levitate able to get Scouts back into this game. But it's still looking like any Briggers could win this one. Graviton Search not blocked off, not eaten or anything, so Snappy and Scouts both in trouble right now. And with Scouts going down, that will do it. Showtime in prime time. And the overtime clock will not run out, as any Briggers will get 2 minutes and 30 seconds on their clock. You can hardly explain that one, but I guess you can say the ultimate discipline there, because would you say that the team from Minos used their ultimates just a little bit too early in that fight?
I would say that Briggers were more like controlled in their use of ultimates, as well as being able to spread Minos in order to single the targets out more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. So Minos, we're gonna be able to not defend point number 1, so we will see point number 2, maybe just a little bit here, because they were very efficient defending point number. They were very efficient defending point number 1 up until the overtime clock ran, but now you're gonna see a little bit of a switch going on here on the side of any Briggers. Doggo and Sile gonna be changing on over. Actually, pretty much most of the team besides Kumo and Rand will switch on over. Zorbar now on the Moira, Mac on the Winston, Sile on the Tracer, who goes down in the hands of Anima, by the way. Anima looking like a strong contender for player of the game so far, and Doggo now on the Sombra, so you get to see a little variance here in what looks like more or less a dive composition.
It seems like a very aggressive, utility-based dive composition indeed.
So they're going to try something up top here. Minos is going to find one person. Sile again gets caught up. We might see a change here, because Sile isn't getting any luck whatsoever against Anima. Is he going to switch is the question, but the payload still continues to move on, although it is a 6v4 situation. Sile will not change. Actually, we will see Sile change to the Widowmaker, dragging some picks in the background, but Anima just doing any and everything that he can to keep this team in check. Seems like this team from Minos' side, rather. I apologize for mispronunciations earlier, but Minos is on the side of blue right now, doing a very good job at defending this point. But the only question is, when it comes down to it, does and as Sile takes down Levitate, that might be the key to coming in here. Both Diva Bombs simultaneously coming out at the same time. Who's gonna get the better of it? Rayam does, as Disclosure and Snappy both go down by the hands of it. That's not a good thing for this side of any Briggers. They're gonna be able to do push this payload up now, but the overtime clock will go off and run. The only question is, do you believe Minos has the chance to turn this one around?
I believe if they act swiftly, they do have a chance, but just looking at the ult economy of Briggers, it seems like it's going to be a fight.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and see the fight here. Mac able to take down Anima right away, down to the final seconds here. Remember, got to contest the point all the way through. Levitate able to res up Anima, so that puts it at 6v5, 6v6 again. Although with the downing of Disclosure, we might have something going here. We have a Rocket Barrage going down, but smart play by Mac to take him down. And now Sile changing to the Widowmaker is helping them out. The last man standing here is going to be pretty much Bob, as Snappy is taken down. So how about that? 2 for 2 on overtime. So they're going to have 1:30 left to go.
And now we are seeing some switches from the Minos side back to a Goats-like comp. Well, they didn't start with comps, they did.
So great switch up. You can see Sal a little more confident now with that Widowmaker, but they're going to switch back on over to the Goats comp. And now we're pretty much going to have a Goats v Goats comp. So bring out the battering rams. Let's see who can push through the other mainly here as Doggo takes down the mirror fight onto Mighty to start. And now you've got 60 seconds remaining on the clock, but it seems like the less time that they have, the better any Briggers gets in their points. So right now, a minute 30 may not seem like a lot, but that's plenty of time to this red team. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. They're going to try and push this in. We're into the home stretch here with 35 seconds left to go. Diva Bomb brought out Self-Destruct in the background. Not going to get anything as the Transcendence also pops from Disclosure. And Snappy also at the same time is going to bring out the Self-Destruct. That's not going to find anybody either. So both Diva Bombs really not going to find anything. Although this time with the spawn room advantage, I should say, Minos able to take down a few. Snappy, Mighty, and both getting kills here in the final 13 seconds. You do not have time to regroup. You have to get on this point. With 9 seconds remaining left to go. Can they push through this underpass? 5 seconds left, Diva Bomb. Oh, Mighty just blocked out Rayan. That might have been any and all chance that they had. Oh, but Rayan gets there just in time to contest the point, but the overtime clock will run. Let's see if anybody else can get there. Charges on. Can Doggo get there in time? Doggo was just in range to hold on to the overtime clock, but it looks like Scouts is going to be able to use that hammer and sweep up house here as he already gets 2 kills to start, and the rally won't do much of anything. Although the Earth Shatter gets 2 people, that's on the side of Mac, but not in time to get there, as that will end round number 1. So we do get to see all 3 points. Unfortunately, cannot complete the map on the side of any Briggers, but Minos will have to do some hard work. Basically needs to get 3 points to capture this map.
To me, it seems like in the beginning, it looked like any Briggers had a really good shot, considering they almost got to the last point. With their better ult economy and usage of ults and better picking of the enemy's Minos. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like they got too staggered in the end and pushed back by the enemy tanks or the Minos tanks.
All right, so let's talk about some in-game adjustments here, because 2 points ain't that bad for the side of any Briggers, but that was mainly with less time on the clock. Now, if you're Minos on the side of blue, you have plenty of time now, 4 minutes on the clock, and we know that any Briggers, when they have the ult economy, has their chance, but Minos may look better overall. So what does any Briggers need to do to defend all 3 points here?
Well, we saw in the former match, or the former game, that they played very aggressively. Maybe it could be a good point of them to try to keep their players alive more so than trying to attack the enemies.
Mm-hmm. All right, so take a look at the prepare to attack, prepare to defense's phase. This time, blue on the attack. So we'll check out Red's defense first for the side of any Briggers. Doggo, Sile, Max, Zorbar, Kumo, and Rayan on those sides will bring out the same thing. A little bit of a variation on the Goats comp, I should say. We're used to seeing a Reinhardt on the Goats comp, but Mac will play the Winston, so a little more of a dive composition into the Goats comp, if you will. The 4 minutes on the clock.
Instead of the usual Zenyatta, which is seen as one of the more important members of Goats, we see an Ana,
mm-hmm.
Which will provide some anti-healing opportunities and CC for the Briggers team.
Well, we will see an Ana versus Ana battle, because Disclosure and Levitate, or Disclosure will be on Ana as well. So far, so good for the side of Minos, as Rayan really the only one contesting these points. Silas there as well. Rayan able to take down Anima in this point, so it's really one or everything for both of these teams right now, and they're the team from any Briggers making sure that this only goes 1. So far, so good here in his variation of a little bit of the Goats comp, but we already have a Dragon Blade coming out from Mighty, and Mighty also nano boosted as well, or not actually not nano boosted, but the Biotic Grenade rather comes out onto Sile. So great play from them to keep the healing out the door. And right now, as it stands, Minos still having a little bit of trouble, even with that Dragon Blade and the man advantage, and even the spawn room advantage. They're not getting much of anything still. As Rayan still contesting the points. I believe this, the Lucio will go down as well. So Kumo out, and that will be it for this fight. So good plays overall there from the any break. Oh, sorry, you had something to say?
Oh no, I didn't have anything important. Do I ever?
All right, well, so far so good for the Minos side. You're gonna have 5 ults to use, Supercharger, as well as the infrared sight and the EMP used at the same time. EMP captures 4. And so Doggo, Sayo, Kumo, and Ray in a little bit of trouble to do anything here. Although back able to find Animal on that side. Self-destruct comes out on top of the roof behind them, and the clock tower really won't get anything going. But it looks like even with 3 ults turned on them, this side from any Briggers is really going to try to keep holding on. And this is forcing back because Snappy is out of mech, or I'm sorry. Snappy is all alone out there. And now a Nano Boost in Mighty has the Dragon Blade in play. And we'll see if that works out for anything going. Mighty's going to be able to get 2 on the charge kill. Grabs on Surge used. Really only going to get Scouts, who's really just going to sit there and stay pretty. Rayan and Doggo also playing it out, but they're going to be able to allow this payload to move up. Now the question is, do they contest this with 2 minutes left to go? That answer is yes. Still just playing around here. Another EMP coming out from Snappy. That's his second one in a minute. An impressive streak here for Snappy on the EMP and getting it back at a very fast pace still. And a minute 10 remaining on the clock. Fight still going on here. They're just pushing and shoving at this point. That's really what the Ghost will do to you. It'll just strain you all the way to the end. Doggo's going to be able to get the force kill onto Mighty. Right now, as it stands, oh, they're just trapping Scouts in this corner, and that's a great play from this side on the team of any Briggers. They could hold this all the way, as that payload is now in a very tough position.
We see now some changes from the Minos side over to more movable shields rather than the Orisa. And a more ghost-like comp with Ash, of course, instead of... Oh, there we go. There we see a breed.
Well, there's the switch, but really the one person you don't want to switch out is Disclosure. That Nano Boost could make the biggest difference, although nobody really with an ult to use it on, so really Scouts is going to have to build up. We've seen Reinhardt's build up before, but if you're going to put it on anybody, I would suggest that Reinhardt is the one to put it on. And where did that Nano Boost? Yep, that goes exactly on the Reinhardt as it is. 15 seconds remain, down to 10. Self-destruct in the background coming. A lot of ults being used, but none really being too effective here. Zorbar with the Nano Boost, but has the Graviton Surge, keeps the team out of play. The only one that can get there is Snappy, as everybody goes down in that Graviton Surge, and from the brink of 2 overtimes, it doesn't even take them 1 point to win it, and the Ending Briggers will win round number 1.
There's a very nice showcase of ults and abilities there, especially from Zorbar, who managed to put a sleep on the Minos Zarya. Anami?
Speaking of which, Zorbar getting play of the game here. Let's take a look at where this was. Right towards the end of this, a great biotic grenade right in the middle of the Graviton Surge to keep them out of healing portions. And that overtime clock runs. So good score so far. Any Briggers up now on the score 1-0 as Anima and Scouts will get the nod for the cards on the Minos side. And that'll about do it. So we'll take a break. We will be right back here in the Oversalt Bronze, the top 500 tournament. Round number 2, we move on from Italy, but we stay in the continent of Europe. We're now into Germany, and Eichenwald is the next map, the hybrid showcase here, and we'll see if any Briggers can end this game right here on the side of a best 2 out of 3, or if the team from Minos, who was doing very well in some parts of the map back on Rialto, they were having some good spots, but we'll see if they can bring it back. Any Briggers up 1-0. Again, my name's Clutchkey on your play-by-play. The color side is Laz, and of course the Overlord of Oversalt as our producer Toadette in action here in the championship match of the Bronze to the Top 500 tournament. And take a look at the prepare your defenses, prepare to attack phase as we get a pause in the action. Levitate for this side of Minos leaves the game on account of a disconnect, I believe. So we'll take a look at what they had so far. The attack side is pretty much going to bring out a Goats combo along, but Rayan switching on over from the Diva to the Sombra. We'll see if that holds. But right now, Levitate's going to come back into the game, but we have a pause in the action. So turning it on over to my color caster, Laz, over here. Laz, what did you see from the last game that can reflect to this game between these two teams?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that we can see that the Briggers is much better when attacking. Of course, they had a little bit of rough times when defending, but I think that the way they ended up defending, which was switching to a more aggressive comp, worked very well in their favor. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to see how this match will go, especially looking at the current lineup, if that's what they're going with, especially from the Minos side.
Minos side bringing out something different than what we're used to seeing. 3 DPSs, Snappy, Money, and Anima. Your only tank, I should say, rather, is Scouts, who's doing a phenomenal job on the Orisa half that time, but then before any Briggers decided that we needed to target Scouts more than anything else. On the side of any Briggers, though, you're going to see basically what is the standard comp of Goats, except for the fact that Zorbor now from the Moira on, or instead of Zenyatta, really, to the Moira. Now you got 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Look at the positioning here, getting through the gates right away. So they're going to take the upper ground on that bridge, on the overpass, I should say, rather. But 3:25 left to go. The Rockets just keep barreling in, so they really have no escape from this unless Diva's defense major comes in and defends all of that Rockets, which it will. But Anima ain't getting away with anything but a kill from Zorbar. And a biotic grenade off the Silent Max, too, is going to be helping them out as Kumo into healing mode and Doggle trying to get anything going. But the good biotic grenade coming out. And that's what this Closure has been able to do on the side of Minos' side. And Anima getting another kill. So this 3 DPS system may be working for them.
It's very interesting to see the usage of this Closure's bio grenade, as well as the constant pressure from Mighty and Anima in the little choke point or upper part that the Briggers really wanted to go through. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to rethink their tactic now.
So 2 minutes and 37 seconds, not to put this into perspective, but in overtimes right now, only in one map, by the way, the team from Any Bringer is really on a 2-for-3 sense of overtime victories. In the meantime, 0-for-1 on the side of Minos. So we're going to see if that works out. EMP are ready with the Rocket Brush coming in, but Tago able to take down Anima at such a close range. And now we're going to see a Dragon Strike come right down the middle, Mighty able to get Rayan and Mac at the same time. Any more would be in the background towards that underpass, but Mighty looking like a strong contender for player of the game, or for play of the game so far. And that will be the end of this one as Style goes down as well.
I think it was quite nice of Snappy to get a 6-man EMP. I think that really made the fight for Minos. But now that we see that Any Briggers is coming back, they're gonna have an advantage when it comes to ultimates. Although Minos do have their support and tank ults, although they only do have one tank. But it seems to be working for them. I was skeptical at first.
Yeah, seems so far so good here on the side of Minos's. But now they're going to keep going here with this Goats comp, and why not? You've almost got all of your ults in play, except for Zorbar, who already has it. And now you're going to have a supercharger as well as a nano boost. Nano boost going right on to, I believe that's going to be, that goes on to Anima, rather. And Anima getting a few picks on their own, already getting another Rocket Barrage in this fight. No doubt about it. It's all but over, and Minos is going to win another fight.
It's very nice to see how Anima is quickly recharging their ultimate, especially as we saw that it had a huge impact in that fight. I also think that Disclosure's sleep on Ryan was a great asset in that whole encounter.
All right, so down to a minute left to go. We might see this go into overtime again, but 2 out of 3, not too shabby for a team that takes us into overtime all the time. And you take a look at their ult economies too. Sao coming up with a Graviton Surge, an Urge Shatter of Rally coming up, a Self-Destruct, and a Sound Barrier. It's good to say that if you've got enough discipline, you're going to be able to win this fight. Mighty already using a Dragon Strike very early on, not getting anybody, and that actually goes in the direction that they weren't. They're going to go all the way around into the cabin behind them. And now Rihanna's going to be able to get a kill on the Snappy, making it a 6v5. Valkyrie comes out. Levitate trying to keep this team alive as long as possible. Matt gets in the background, but doesn't get anybody in the Earth Shatter. So the Earth Shatter wasted. But still another EMP this time. Now that prevents Graviton Surge from coming in for a little while here. But still, they may not need this. 4 to 6 on the range. And they won't need overtime to get an additional 2.5.
We also see that Snappy's EMP, although it removed the Lucio barrier health from the entirety of Briggers, or 4 out of 6, it did not help them in the fight ultimately, as they did not have backup. Very unfortunate.
So we're going to see some changes on the side. Keep in mind, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Rather, 2 minutes 35, I should say, as you add another 2:30 to what their remaining time was, and no ult on this side as everybody switches up on the side of Minos. So ult advantage going to the side of rather any Briggers, but if you, in case of discipline, maybe any Briggers might not need, maybe you only need 1 per fight. We'll see how many they use. Graviton Surge and Coalescence used at the same time. That's going to get them a few kills. Already getting 4 kills. Somebody will take them out. Scouts will fall off the map, and it's a team kill called by Athena. So minute 30 left to go, but here comes the crucial part, the everlasting battle on the bridge.
I like the bridge. I think it's fun, but it seems like Briggers is much more comfortable within a pushing momentum rather than a
oh my goodness, that Earth Shatter getting 4 people inside of it, and no doubt about it, this battle on the bridge might as well be over. Snappy going to go way out of play. Actually stays up on the bridge, gets knocked all the way to the other side. Very impressive in itself, but nonetheless, the battle on the bridge doesn't even last that long. And now back to another 2.5 minutes to get this point to point number 3.
I believe it's very interesting how fast they were able to push through the bridge. We expected them to take a little bit longer, but I think that's the fastest I've seen it in a while from any team.
Yeah, that might be one of the fastest pushes I've ever seen on Eichenwald in general here. But we'll see. We'll see what the side of Minos will do about it here. Disclosure and Scouts already starting off with 2 kills. That's the ones you want. The 2 shields out and about, meaning that this team is going to either be killed or back up, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So Minos already starting out with a good fight, but in a position as well that this is one of those maps where that 3rd point can favor the defending team, because even if that payload's right at the beginning, the spawn room is still not that close.
It's not that, like, the defender spawn is not that far away, and this whole, like, segment is pretty much just a long choke.
So already a Graviton Surge coming into play for Minos. We'll see where the back is. Disclosure getting the 2nd one, and they're going to have to back off again, losing your main tank and losing your one of your off healers, I should say. So another team kill this side on the side of Minos.
We can see that Minos are using the broken down castle gate as to their advantage very well, especially during that last encounter with the Zarya ult.
And this can be a pain in the butt here to try and get things going here, because the wall is that wall is really an additional shield that you don't need to have if you're an attacker. So you're down to the final minute remaining on the clock. You're going to see if they can push this up, really. And they're going to be able to push this payload just up a little bit, but is it going to be enough? Because this 3rd point, as most people will know, always favors the defender. Self-destruct coming in. Earth Shatter not in time. But Scouts does get Doggo in the meantime, but that's only 1 shield out of 2 to get both Transcendences used at the same time. So this is going to keep the fight rolling as long as it possibly can. And Snappy actually eats up Sal's Graviton Surge, so that's not going to get any crosses out of it here in the 20 seconds remaining. Self-destruct right in front. Not enough to get anything, as Scouts is going to start sweeping up with the hammer. And really also getting Zorbar as well. So Scouts might have some claim on the stake of the play of the game. Down to the final 5 seconds remaining as Rally is used. Can anybody get up to the point in time? Great sleep, by the way, from stun, I should say, onto the wrecking ball that is Rayan. Keeps Rayan out of play to get back into the payload, and round 1 is complete. So any Briggers will get 2 points, but not enough to say that they basically got all 3 points this time to touch them all. It's Minos that's got to get through the gate, get the point, get through the doors, and just on the first staircase.
Once we saw the first point being taken by Briggers, we saw that Minos had a problem getting like a foothold once more, which they ended up only getting back once they got to the castle doors, where they ended up having pretty good ult usage and shutting down of enemies, especially on the was it the diva who took the I forgot who's playing who.
I believe it was Rayan on the diva, if you're talking about him.
Yeah, probably. And they didn't even let that stop them. Well, as defenders, like Rayan was an Brigger, so they were of course attacking. Mm-hmm. And Minos didn't even let that downfall break their will.
Mm. All right, so basically it's down to the final points here. What Minos needs to do is take this 2 points get the control point, get it through the gate, get it through the main doors into the castle, and 20.44 meters inside the castle to take this to game 3 into Busan, where there is no ties. Basically, in this map, no ties, no draws. It's over here and now to decide whether or not we find any Briggers as the champion, or if Minos has a shot in game number 3. So far, we'll take a look at the sides here, and again, going to bring out the 3 DPS game. Animal, Mighty, and Snappy, all of the Pharaoh, the Widowmaker, and the Sombra to their respective rights. And in the meantime, Doggo and Rayan going to go right at him, as well as Sile. So we got a 3-2-1 going here, and Rayan's going to get the better of it first onto Animal. And this is just now a fight for Minos here to just hold on until Animal comes back into the game. But really, that Widowmaker could be effective in the case of taking down a pharmacy combo like the one on Mighty and Levitate side.
I think it's interesting that we're seeing a 1-2-3 comp from both sides here. It's kind of the opposite of seeing goats, right? Because goats is based around having a sustain and just surviving for forever, while this is just about having the most damage and hoping for a pick.
Well, I mean, maybe they thought that both were going to come out. The thing, reflective, great minds think alike here in the Bronze Top 500 tournament. So that might have been the case here. But let's see what happens as Rayan already getting 2 kills, and that's a good start. Although one Disclosure gets res back up into play. Down to the final 2 minutes, 45 seconds here on the clock. Rayan getting another kill on the Disclosure. Disclosure just cannot get any satisfaction out of Rayan right now. And they've got an EMP ready on the side of any Briggers, which could be effective. But right now, they're going to just back off on the side of Minos.
We also see that Disclosure is switching from Zenyatta to Ana, hopefully to deal with more flying targets on the Brigger side. Mm-hmm. And also their Nano Boost will, of course, be very effective when it comes to a team fight.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see, but right now you got to build up that Nano Boost. That's the only problem. EMPs on both sides available. Valkyries on both sides available. Rocket Barrages only available on the side of any Brigger, so this could be the case. Down to 2 minutes. No ults have been used yet, so this is just the build-up to what is going to go on here. And our first ult is a Valkyrie being used by Levitate. How long is this going to last for them? A Wrecking Ball now in place. The Scouts are going to try to slam down. EMP as well. That's going to help them out. A good Bionic Grenade on the side of Disclosure to keep Scouts out of play. And now, here comes this straight-up attack by the 7th man now in play. Oh, it charges onto oh my goodness, Levitate. Oh boy, Levitate gets smashed into the wall by the 7th man of Bob. And that might have just been the ever so lasting turn of events from Sio. Great play from the Briggers.
I think that was an amazing clutch play by Skyle. I see that they had their Bob for a while now, and I'm very happy to see the outcome. And now we can see that the ults are pretty similar on both sides, although I think the advantage would go to Briggers currently.
Just unfortunate on the side of Levitate. You cannot call for anything worse than a charge of Bob coming right at you and bringing you against the wall. That is not what you want. Doggo bringing out the Rocket Barrage, gets the mech as well as the Animal as well. This could be Briggers' defense one more time. And you take a look at the discipline here. Mighty not using his Rocket Barrage. So the only ult left in play is basically going to be a Rocket Barrage that could make the difference, although Disclosure has a nano boost as well. Down to the final 30 seconds, and this is where the rush happens.
We also see Ryan and Skyle almost having their Ashe and Sombra ults, which could be very effective towards the Mighty and Disclosure ults on Ana and Pyra.
Down to the final 10 seconds remaining on the clock. We're going to see the rush here. They're going to change on over now. On the side of Anima, but Anima goes down right away by the hands of Zorbar. EMP comes in play, gets two people, so Mighty getting out of the Rocket Rush. Smart play from Ryan to keep them in play, and Any Briggers looking like the champs here for the Bronze to Top 500 tournament, and that's exactly what it is. Any Briggers will win this weekend's Bronze to Top 500 tournament 2-0 on Rialto and Eichenwald.
I think it was very nice of Ryan to end up using the ult as was expected, and I'm saying that this is a very deserved win for Any Briggers.
Zorbar getting play of the game for Any Briggers right when the Coalescence was pretty much needed on backup to get some kills here. That's exactly what they did. So great assist from the Zarya during that play, but Zorbar getting play of the game, as well as one of the player cards, I should say, getting 10,582 healing, 26% of the team damage taken in MAC with 25,373 damage blocked, although almost 12,000 damage from the Pharaoh on the side of Minos, so not a bad play from them either. So we say congratulations to the team from Any Briggers for winning the overall championship, but we do what we normally do here, most valuable player of the game for the Oversalt Bronze to Top 500 tournament finals. And Laz, do you have somebody in mind?
Well, I mean, in the last match, we really saw, I feel that we really saw Ryan on Sombra being quite a good player and shutting down the enemy team ultimates efficiently.
Mm-hmm. And so we'll give our player of the game to Ryan, who was shining moments inside that last part of Eichenwald. So great plays. And that about for our match that we just saw?
I think it was a real, it was very close at times, but it was obvious to see that Any Briggers had a better day, as it were. Mm-hmm. But I would expect to see them again in the future, as they both played stellarly.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that about we're just about out of time here. We'll wrap things up. Thanks to everybody who participated in the Bronze to Top 500 tournament. Also, thank you the admins and the production squad for the Oversalt tournament. And for this production, Laz on the color, thank you very much. First time casting, by the way. Not a bad performance here, ladies and gentlemen, from Laz. Not at all. So that also our Overlord and for Oversalt, as well as the main producer. Thank you very much to her. And my name is Clutchkey. I'm a player by play. We'll see you guys in the future. Bronze to Top 500 tournament winners is Any Briggers winning Rialto and Eichenwald 2-0. We'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody.